Hey everybody, Silas here. Welcome back to the channel. So as you can see, the Season 4 tier set bonuses and transmog voting has been concluded. Before we get into that, I want to ask you all to please subscribe to my channel, help my channel grow. I do have a giveaway going on now until the 26th. I'll leave the link to that video in the description. All right, we're going to get started. So the first one is the Death Knight, and it looks like for the Transmog Season 3 1, so the current Season 1, had a total of 9,980 votes. Now with Blood, it looks like for the tier bonus, Season 2 1, so it says Heart Strike and Blood Boil deal 10% increased damage and have a 5% chance to grant it vampiric blood for 5 seconds. And for the tier set bonus for 4 pieces, when you gain vampiric blood, you are infused with vampiric strength, granting you 10% strength for 5 seconds. Your heart strike and blood boil extend the duration of vampiric strength by 0.5 seconds. So now when we go to Frost, it looks like Season 2 won with 6,347 votes. So for the 2 set bonus, Howling Blast, damage increased by 10%. Consuming Rime increases the damage of your next Frostworm's Fury by 4%, stacking 10 times. Pillar of Frost causes a Frostworm's Fury at 25% effectiveness that cannot freeze enemy. And for the 4 set, it's Frostworm's Fury causes enemies hit to take 20% increased damage from your critical strikes for 12 seconds. All right, now to Unholy. It looks like Season 3 won for the tier bonus, and they had a total of 5,902. So the two-piece set says Apocalypse summons an additional Magnus of the Dead. Your Magnus of the Dead Shadow Bolt now fires a volley of Shadow Bolts up to 4 nearby enemies. For the 4 piece, each rune you spend increases the duration of your active Magi by 0.5 seconds, and your Magi will now also cast amplified damage, increasing the damage you deal by 5% for 10 seconds. Now to the Demon Hunter, my favorite. I do main Demon Hunter. So it looks like for the Transmog, for Season 4, Season 3 1, 9,032 votes. And for Havoc, it looks like the Season 3 um, tier bonus one, which is actually the best tier bonus for Havoc. I'm so glad. Thank you all, whoever voted for that. So it had 13,611. For the 2 piece, Blade Dance automatically triggers Throat Glaive on your primary target for 100% damage, and each slash has a 50% chance to throw Glaive at an enemy for 35% damage. For the 4 piece, Throw Glaive reduces the remaining cooldown of the hunt by 2 seconds, and the hunt's damage over time effects last 6 seconds longer. Now for Vengeance, it looks like Season 3 won again with 6,037 votes. So for the 2 piece bonus is when you attack a target affiliated by Sigil of Flame, your damage and healing are increased by 2%, and your stamina is increased by 2% for 8 seconds, stacking up to 5 times. The 4 piece bonus is Sigil of Flame's periodic damage flare up, shattering an enemy's soul fragment from a target and dealing 75.9% of your attack power plus additional damage. Each 40 fury you spend reduces its cooldown by 1 second. All right, so now to the Druid. Looks like the Season 2 Transmog set is the winner with a total of 8,321 votes. So when we go to balance, it looks like Season 1 um, tier set bonus one with 5,157. So it says Star Surge and Starfall increases the damage of your next Wrath or Sunfire by 20%, stacking up to 3 times. For the 4 piece, is when you enter Eclipse, your next Star Surge or Starfall costs 5% less astral power and deal 20% increased damage. All right, so for Feral, Season 3 won with 4,151 votes. The 2P says Feral Frenzy grants Smolder and Frenzy, increases all damage you deal by 20% for 8 seconds. And the 4P says Feral Frenzy's cooldown is reduced by 15 seconds. Doran, Smolder, and Frenzy, enemies burn for 10% of the damage you deal as fire over 10 seconds. Guardian Druid, it looks like they won with 10,151 votes for Season 2. And it looks like the Season 2 tier bonus says for 2 piece says when you take damage, Mangle and Thrash damage and Rage Generation are increased by 15% for 8 seconds, and you heal for 6% of the damage taken over 8 seconds. For the 4 piece, Raz slash Maul damage increased by 20%, and cast an Iron Fur or Raz slash Maul increases your maximum health by 3% for 12 seconds, stacking 5 times. Now we go to Restoration Druid. Looks like Season 3 won 6,803 votes for the two-piece. You and your Grove Guardian nourishes now heal 2 additional allies within 40 yards at 40% effectiveness. For the four-piece bonus, it says Consume and Clear Casting now causes your regrowth to also cast Nourish onto a nearby injured ally at 200% effectiveness, preferring those with your heal over time effects. All right, off to the Evoker. So it looks like season let's see. Season one for Transmog one is actually a decent set. I like that. So we're gonna go with augmentation. So it looks like season three is the winner for your tier bonus if you play augmentation evoker. Two piece. Every third pre-science lasts 100% longer. And for the four-piece set, casting pre-science enhances your next eruption with smaller fissures for each pre-science you have active, each dealing 110% of spell power damage and extended Ebon Might by zero point 0.2 seconds. All right, Devastation. Here we go with Devastation. Looks like Season 2 was the winner for your tier bonuses with the 4,913 votes. So the two-piece set says Disintegrate and Pyre pierce enemies with obsidian shards, dealing 12% of the damage as volcanic damage over 8 seconds. For the four-piece, Empower spells deal 8% increased damage and cause your obsidian shards to blaze with power, dealing 200% more damage for 5 seconds. During Dragon Rage, shards always blaze with power. All right, Preservation Evoker. Looks like Season 1 was the winner with 4,335 votes. So the two-piece set says Empower spells increase reversions healing by 35% for 6 seconds. The four-piece reversion healing has a chance to cause your next living flame to cast instantly and deal 20% increased damage or healing, stacking 2 times. Okay, now we're going to move on to the hunter. So it looks like the season 1 hunter transmog set 1 with a total of 7,388 votes. All right, now to Beast Mastery. Season 3 was the winner with 9,608 votes. So the Season 3 tier bonus for a two-piece is Bestial Wrath summons a Dire Beast for 15 seconds. And the 4 set bonuses you most recently summoned Dire Beast now obeys your kill command and can benefit from Beast Cleave. Marksmanship. Looks like Season 3 was the winner with 5,547 votes. The two-piece set says Rapid Fire deals 20% increased damage, 20% additional damage. Trick Shot causes Rapid Fire to launch a volley for 6 seconds, deal 100% of normal damage. Four-piece bonus. Every 10 focus you spend has a 3% chance to reset the cooldown of Rapid Fire, cause your next Rapid Fire to shoot 100% additional shots during its channel. Survival Hunter. Looks like Season 1 was the winner. The two-piece bonus is Raptor Strike slash Mongoose Strike. Carve and Butchery damage increased by 12%. The four-piece bonuses Raptor Strike slash Mongoose Bite, Carve, and Butchery have a 20% chance to make your next Raptor Strike slash Mongoose Bite, Carve, or Butchery cost 10 less focus and deal 40% increased damage. Now we're off to Mages. Looks like Season 3 was the winner for the Transmog set. And now we're going to go to Arcane. Season 3 was also the winner for the tier bonus. So it says the two-piece Consume and Clear Casting grants increased spell damage by 2% for 20 seconds, stacking up to 10%. Four-piece bonus. After Consume and Clear Casting 3 times, your next Arcane Missiles consumes Arcane Battery, dealing 150% increased damage to your primary target, and fires at up to 4 nearby enemies, dealing 100% increased damage. Now to Fire. Looks like Season 2 was the winner. For the two-piece set bonus, Phoenix Flame applies charring embers to all enemy damage, increases their damage taken from you by 5% for 12 seconds. The four-piece bonus says when your direct damage spell hits an enemy affected by charring embers 20 times, the damage of your next two Phoenix Flames is increased by 200% and they refund their charge on use. All right, here we go with Frost. So it looks like Season 3 was the winner, 5,958 votes. And the two-piece bonus for that is Glacial Spike, damage increased by 10%. And it explodes when it shatters a frozen target, dealing 20% of its damage to nearby enemies. Deals reduced damage beyond 8 targets. The four-piece, casting Glacial Spike has a 40% chance to trigger Brain Freeze. Okay, here we go at Monk. Looks like the season one was the Transmog winner. That's actually a really nice set. I'll do like the Monk set. I've never played Monk, so I'm gonna probably level up a Monk because I do like the set. Okay, let's go with Brewmaster. Looks like season three for the tier bonus was the winner. The two-piece set says Breath of Fire deals 40% bonus damage at Shadow Flame and causes you to heal for 50% of your fire damage dealt. The four-piece, your attacks against the target afflicted by Breath of Fire have a chance to deal 15% extra damage at Shadow Flame, and each Celestial Brew also grants Stagger absorbed for 100% of the Shadow Flame damage you have dealt, causing damage delayed by Stagger to instead be prevented. Mistweaver. Season 3 was the winner, 7,831 votes. For the Season 3 two set, Renewing Mist applies Chi Harmony to its initial target, increasing their healing taken from you by 50% for 8 seconds. The four piece, 20% of all the healing you do to targets with Chi Harmony is stored and then dispersed evenly among your allies with Renewing Mist when Chi Harmony fades or is refreshed. Windwalker. Looks like season one was the winner with 4,745 votes. The two-piece bonus says Fist of Fury increases the damage dealt by your next two Rising Sun kicks or spinning crane kicks by 30%. The four-piece Fist of Fury now instead enhances your next three Rising Sun kicks or spinning crane kicks. Enhanced kicks increase damage of your next Fist of Fury deals 5% increased damage stacking up to 3 times. Off to the Paladin. For the Transmog set, Season 2 was the winner for 10,507 votes. So off to Holy. Looks like Season 2 was also the winner for the tier set bonus for Holy. So for the 2-piece sets, is Holy Shock's critical strikes heal for 60% more and reduce the cooldown of Light's Hammer by 2 seconds or Holy Prism by 1 second. The 4-piece bonus set says Light's Hammers heals 100% more frequently and generates 1 holy power every 4 seconds. Holy Prism's healing is increased by 80% and it generates 1 holy power if cast on an enemy target or 3 if cast on an ally. So for protection, looks like season 1 was the winner with 5,567 votes. The two-piece set says Avengers Shield grants you and your closest Ally of Light, increase the versatility by 6% for 8 seconds. The four-piece, Casting Hammer of Righteousness slash Blessed Hammer, increases your parry by 5% for 10 seconds and extend the duration of Ally of Light by 1 second. Off to Retribution. Looks like Season 3 was the winner with 8,518 votes. The two-piece set for Retribution says Expert Expurgation lasts an additional 3 seconds and deals 30% increased damage. Casting Judgment or Divine Toll on a target with Expurgation causes Wrathful Sanction, damaging the target for 100% of attack power, holy damage, and resonating 100% of attack power divided by 2, holy damage up to 4 nearby enemies. The four-piece bonus says Wrathful Sanction grants you Echoes of Wrath, cause your next two Templar's Verdict or Divine Storm to deal damage a second time at 25% effectiveness. This does not consume Judgment. I actually like that a lot. Off to Priest. Looks like Season 2 Transmog was the winner with 13,227 votes. This one looks really nice. I like this one a lot. I do like this dark one too. All right, so Discipline. Looks like Season 3 was the winner. The two-set bonus, Smite and Penance damage increased by 20%, and Smite extends the duration of an active atonement by 2 seconds. The four-set bonus, Smite has a 100% chance to cast an additional time during Shadow Covenant, dealing 80% of the spell power as shadow damage. Holy. Looks like Season 3 won. 4,181 votes. The two piece for Holy Word Serenity applies 14 seconds of renew to its target. Holy Word Sanctify applies 5 seconds of renew to allies it heals. The 4-set bonus renews healing, has a chance to cause your next Holy Word Sanctify or Holy Word Serenity to not consume a charge when it's cast and cost 50% less mana, accumulating to 2 charges. Off to Shadow. Looks like Season 2 won with 7,935 votes. Season 2 two-piece tier set says increases the chance for Shadowy Insight to trigger by 25%. When consuming Shadowy Insight, Mind Blast deals 30% increased damage and generates 4 additional insanity. For the 4-piece, it says Devour and Plague damage increased by 15%. Every forecast of Devour and Plague increases the damage of Shadowy Appositions Shadowy Apposition is conjured within the next 10 seconds by 80%. It's actually really good for Mythic Plus. I used to love playing Shadow. Art off to Rogue. This looks like Season 3 of the Transmog set won with 5,172 votes. Assassination. Season 3 tier bonus also won for the two-piece with Season 3 tier bonus won with 4,325 votes. And the two-piece bonus says each 10 energy you spend grants Nature Blight, granting 1% attack speed and 1% nature damage for 6 seconds. Multiple instances of Nature Blight may overlap up to 12. The 4-piece bonus is Envenom and additionally empowers itself, causing an Envenomous Explosion, dealing 45% of attack power. Nature damage to all enemies when cast with Envenom active deals reduced damage beyond 5 targets. If Envenomous Explosion deals damage to a single target, it's increased by 150%. So Outlaw looks like Season 3 tier bonus won with 5,432 votes. So the two-piece set for Outlaw says Sinister Strike has an additional 10% chance of striking an additional time. For the 4-piece, Roll of the Bones additionally refreshes a random Roll of the Bones combat enhancement buff you currently possess. Sub looks like Season 3 won with 3,527 votes. Season 3 two-piece set says using Eviscerate, Rupture, or Black Powder has a chance to summon a shadowy clone to echo your finishing move for 57% additional shadow damage. The Your shadow damage for the 4, I guess I don't know if this is a mistake, but I think this one's supposed to be 4-piece. The 4-piece bonus says your shadow clones deal 20% increased damage with all attacks and grant you 2 combo points per clone when summoned. Off the Shaman. Looks like the Season 3 Transmog won with 9,204 votes. Elemental. Season 3 was the winner for the tier bonus with 5,657 votes. The two-piece set says Primordial Wave also casts an Elemental Blast at the target at 70% effectiveness and grants you all 3 Elemental Blast bonuses effects for 10 seconds. The 4-piece set says Lava Burst burns your target for 10% additional damage over 4 seconds. And after consuming Primordial Wave, your next 2 casts of Lava Burst to also hit up to 3 additional targets affected by your flame shock for 65% of normal damage. Enhancement. Season 3 won again with 6,598 votes. The two-piece set says Primordial Wave summons a lightning feral spirit that increases your nature damage dealt by 20% for 15 seconds. The 4-piece bonus says summoning a feral spirit reduces the cooldown of Primordial Wave by 7 seconds. Restoration. Looks like Season 1 was the winner with 4,048 votes. The two-piece bonus for Restoration says while Healing Stream Totem / Cloudburst Totem is active, your chance to critically strike is increased by 10%. The 4-piece bonus, your critical heals have a 215% effectiveness instead of the usual 200%. Warlock. Looks like Season 2 Transmog was the winner with 6,260 votes. Okay, Affliction. Season 3 was the winner for the tier bonus with 3,597 votes. The two-piece says Soul Rot deals 15% increased damage and lasts an additional 4 seconds. The 4-piece set bonus Soul Rot grants 3 Umbra Fire Kindling, which increases the damage of your next Maleficer how do you say that? Malefic Rapture to deal 50% of your next seed of corruption by 60%. And additionally, Umber Fire Kindling causes Malefic Rapture to extend the duration of your damage over time effects and haunt by 2 seconds. All right, Demonology looks like season 3 was the winner with 7,478 votes. The season 3 tier bonus says for two-piece, consuming a demonic core applies a Doom brand that explodes after 20 seconds, dealing 268.747% of spell power, shadow damage to nearby enemies, or 268.747 of spell power gets times 1.5 shadow damage to a single enemy. Hand of Gudan reduces the duration of your Doom brands by 1 second per soul shard spent. The four-piece bonus says when Doom Brand is removed, you have a chance to summon a Doom Fiend that casts 5 Doom Bolt volleys before departing. Each Doom Bolt volley deals 1.55 times your spell power times 1 plus versatility times 1.7 shadow damage up to 4 enemies, or 1.5 spell power. Yeah, I have no idea what this means, but okay, we're gonna skip past that. So maybe somebody who actually plays demonology could give me a little bit more insight. Okay, we're gonna go on to destruction. So destruction looks like season one was the winner with 5,094 votes. So the two-piece bonus says consuming soul shards has a chance to grant you maelstrom, increasing your critical strike chance by 10% for 10 seconds. Season one four-piece set, your critical strikes deal 208% damage instead of the usual 200% damage. Off to Warrior. Looks like Season 2 was the winner for the Transmog set. And for arms, Season 1 was the winner with 5,246 votes. And it says for the two piece, it says Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and chance to critical strike increased by 10%. So basically, Mortal Strike and Cleave damage and you have a 10% chance to increase by 10% damage. Okay. Season 1, the 4P says Mortal Strike and Cleave and Execute critically strikes. Increase your damage and critical strike chance by 5% for 6 seconds. Off to Fury. So Fury, Season 2 was the winner with 9,487 votes. The two-piece bonus for Fury says Rampage damage and critical strike chance increased by 10%. The four-piece bonus, Rampage causes your next Bloodthirst to have a 10% increased critical strike chance and deal 25% increased damage and generate 2 additional rage, stacking up to 10 times. So for Protection Warrior, it looks like Season 3 was the winner with 4,400 votes. The two-piece set says spending rage has a chance to cause your next shield slam to consume your bleeds on a target, instantly dealing 40% of the remaining damage of your deep wounds and rend and 100% of thunderous roars and reducing your damage taken by 10% for 5 seconds. The four-piece bonus. For each bleed effect consumed from a target, your damage taken is reduced by additional 2%. When Shield Slam consumes a bleed, the cooldown of Thunderclap is reset and the cooldown of Thunderous Roar is reduced by 3 seconds. Anyway, well, it looks like we went through them all, everybody. If you all are happy with the results, if you like the transmog set, if you like the tier bonuses for your characters, let me know in the comment section below. Also, I'm looking to main a new class, so I've been playing Havoc Demon Hunter. Let me know what I should try out. I appreciate everybody for watching. Thank you so much. See you all in the next one.